A-Sun Conference action has reached Kennesaw, Georgia, as the Owls look to continue their winning ways against Division I newcomers that have struggled to get that Division II groove back. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia, where Kennesaw State hosts Queen University of Charlotte in A-Sun women's soccer action. Matt Teen Rad here, joined by Jason Longshore. And Jason, these are two teams that like to sit back and absorb pressure. How are they going to counteract each other?
Yeah, two teams that are defense first, two teams that kind of build from the back, not necessarily in terms of possession, but the way they build their team, the way they build their mentality. And somebody has to take the initiative tonight. Who will take it early on? That could change a little bit, but it'll be interesting to see if being at home, if the Owls kind of feel the urge to take control of this game early and keep a lot of the ball.
We'll look at our two impact players for this game, the two goalkeepers for each side. For the Queens Royals, the Dubliner has been the star of the show in net.
Erica Turner, 8 starts this season, 2 clean sheets, 52 games in her career coming into this year, 26 clean sheets in her first 3 years. Now, Queens University moving up from the D2 level. She's an All-American level talent at the D2 level, and she's been able to transition over very well. Take the Tennessee game out for Queens where they gave up 6 goals. They've only given up 7 other goals all year. Now, they've only scored 2, and that's going to be something that has to build for the Royals, but their goalkeeper, Erica Turner, keeping them in games.
And for the Owls, Jason, Kennesaw State's freshman goalkeeper has looked like someone of much more experience.
We talked to Benji Walton at the beginning of the year, and goalkeeper was that position that he wasn't quite sure what direction he would go. And it's been a little bit of back and forth, but Alana Bly has taken over the starting job. The freshman from Duncan, South Carolina, back-to-back clean sheets. She's got a conference win under her belt now and gives this team a lot of confidence in the back.
Can the Owls win their 3rd match in a row, or will Queens finally grab their first Division I win? Stay tuned, because kickoff is next.
Starter for tonight's match. First is the visiting Queens Royals, and goal number 1, Eric Turner. Number 3, Willis Vincent. Number 10, Savannah Stewart. Number 16, Morgan Reed. Number 20, Jada Palmer. Number 26, Keely Jackson. Number 11, Logan Bailey. Number 29, Grace Leo. Number 30, Sophia Gutierrez. Number 6, Jaira Durant. Number 24, EA. Alliance coach by head coach Shannon Gilly Cole, and assisted by Sage Peterly and Keegan Berger.
Sometimes the journey doesn't end the way you wanted it to, but success doesn't come without heartbreak. We've worked hard to get to where we are now. All the hours we trained and perfect our craft will not be enough. No one stops us from achieving what we want. No one will get around it. We will continue to write our own stories and we won't stop because we are relentless.
And now starting out for your 2022 Kennesaw State Owls. In goal, number 0, Alana Bly. Number 19, Juliet Barbush. Number 22, Kendall Hicks. Number 5, Katie Decker. Number 14, Naomi Malika. Number 25, Sydney Bordells. Number 8, Alex Ryan. Number 12, Mike Vincent. Number 15, Kendall Hoskins. Number 7, PR Cinderella. And number 27, Macy Raymond. Y'all are coached by head coach Benny Walt, was assisted by Christina Ferraro and Olivia Daly. Ladies and gentlemen, please join Kennesaw State University and our players and coaches in honoring America and celebrating its freedom and those who protect it. Please rise and move your hats as you are able for the playing of our national anthem. Joining the Owls on the pitch for tonight's anthem is the USA Lacrosse U9 Blue Reds.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium, where we're just moments away from kickoff. Let's take a look at the Queens University of Charlotte starters. Jason, easy to say that the woman to watch out for is leading the line for Queens today.
Yeah, we talked about Erica Turner in the open, and she's the focal point defensively in goal. But Nia Gaither has both of the goals that the Royals have scored this season. 6 starts on the year, 19 goals in 47 games in the D2 level for Queens, where they were 16-5-1 last year. It's a team that has a lot of players moving up to the D1 level. Gaither's a player that they count on and they believe in.
Now let's take a look at the starting 11 for Coach Benji Walton and the host, the Kennesaw State Owls. Jason, starting in the number 10 position today is Allie Bryan, who scored her first goal against Jacksonville State, and what a goal it was.
Yeah, big goal, had the winner at Jacksonville State in the conference opener. That's something to build on for a freshman. Allie Bryan from Lakewood, Washington, played at Lakes High School. That's her first goal. This is her 6th start We've seen this lineup evolve a little bit for Benji Walton, somewhat by necessity with the injuries, but the freshmen and the young players are earning more time and bigger roles. Brian, as a 10, will get forward, will be involved in getting on the end of things, but there's other freshmen around her as well.
Last meeting of the minds between these two teams before kickoff is here. Little look at the watch here from our main referee in the middle today, Daniel Tibbetts, Eric Usher, and Carmelo Lafaro, the assistants today. Queens having a lot of stability in their lineup this season. Rolling with exactly the same lineup, does that give them almost a little bit of an advantage with Kennesaw State being somewhat unsettled in that area?
It can. I think it's just trying to get something to build around. You know, the move from D2 to D1, that's a big jump. The move from D1 into a conference that's as competitive as the A-Sun, that's a big jump. And you need something to build on. This is a group that's been together quite a bit. So the Royals players, they know one another. There's not a lot of new faces. For the Owls, yeah, you are having to get to know some players, and maybe some roles are changing and evolving as we go. That gives you more flexibility in the long run. It's a good thing in the long run, but you could have some hiccups along the way.
Last consultation between Daniel Tibbetts and his assistant before the whistle blows. And there we are, we're off as Kiara Singareya wastes no time, but it's cut out by Logan Fairley. Back to Jada Palmer and her center back partner, Morgan Reeve. And that pass is cut out early by Kendall Hoskins. Shot comes in from Hoskins' deflection, and over the bar it goes for an early Kennesaw State corner. And something I'm already seeing, Jason, and something that's very interesting in the left center back position for Kennesaw State today is someone that we know for her attack, and that's Kendall Higgs.
Yeah, I was very curious where Higgs was going to end up in the lineup today. As we saw the sheet, we were trying to figure out who would be where. We saw in that last sequence, though, Singarella up top with the pressure, forcing the turnover.
Singarella takes the corner fast to Jensen, back to Singarella, edge of the box. With her left foot, puts it out to the other side. Kendall Higgs, Hoskins, Kendall to Kendall. Shot comes in. That's the second shot for Hoskins. And we'll go straight pass for a goal kick.
Took a deflection off a teammate, unfortunately, there as Borgelt was in the way. Nothing she can do, but good start, good intensity from KSU. I want to see how much they press Queens.
And it looks like they'll waste no time in pressing through Macy Rainwater. Mai Jensen joins in on that party. Queens working down the right line through Hilda Svensson. Palmer. Long ball up onto the head of Grace Guglielmo. Here's our first look at Maya Gaither. Her pass is cut out by Naomi Malika.
Malika, such a smart player for a freshman, a coach's daughter, so you know she's been around the game from the minute she could walk.
Do you think her father, being a forward, do you think that's the reason that she's a defender? He just wanted to test her constantly?
I don't know. That's fascinating to me because that's not typically how it goes. So I'm very curious as to how that developed. But she has a defender's brain. You just see it in the way she reads the game.
Long ball up. This should be easily dealt with by Savannah Stewart.
But you can press off of this, though.
Back to Turner. We'll take the easy clearance and put it out for a throw-in.
That's something the Owls can really benefit from against a team that's still finding their footing at this level, is sometimes if it's not on to play out of the back, play long and press.
Now, Jason, we're seeing Kendall Higgs start in this center back position. Do you think she'll take a look at that as a forward position? We'll talk about that in a second. As Kendall Hoskins with a great pass and having to cut out expertly was the Queens defense.
Great work defensively to come across and cover, but it's still Owls ball in the final third.
And we might see this a lot, Jason, a lot of pinning Queens in the final third by Kennesaw State.
That's what you want to do in a game like this. At home with in a conference match, you want to take control of it early on.
Malika. Clever pass there for Hoskins. Onto her left foot. Into the midfield for Borgelt. Kendall Higgs getting that first look, as far as I'm aware, in her career at center back. We're talking about Higgs, Jason, and do you think that she'll look at that position as with a forwards mentality? We were talking a little bit about Andrew Gutman for Atlanta United before this match.
I don't think she'll get forward quite as much as somebody like Gutman or the kind of thing that we're starting to see a lot in the game worldwide with fullbacks playing as a third center back. But I think her passing out of the back will be more aggressive than you might see typically out of a center back.
Take a look out for diagonal passes from Kendall Higgs. Here she is into the midfield. Great pass from her to find Bryan. Out to the out wide for Jensen. Barbush, her pass is cut out by Svensson. Will go out for a throw.
We've talked about the injuries with the Owls, and sometimes injuries allow you to not just solve the problem of who to play, but actually give you new weapons. And Higgs potentially as a center back, being able to play out of the back, is fascinating for what it can unlock in this team.
She definitely has the physicality for that position. There's
Absolutely.
no doubt about that.
Absolutely. It makes total sense.
Long ball up from Decker. Was looking for Rainwater, but will go all the way through for Turner. And we were talking before the game about one of these teams was going to have to try and take the steering wheel for this game, and it looks like Kennesaw State is content in doing that.
So far, absolutely.
Great touch there from Rainwater. Looks for the run of Singarea. But calm, cool, collected is Jada Palmer with the ball. Will put it out for a throw in, however.
It's really good work from the senior from Charlotte, Jada Palmer. Good positioning, able to win that back, not give it back on the counter pressure.
And maybe they know the danger of Kiara Cinderella, because it looks like Jada Palmer is just almost hugging her on the edge of the box there.
You get national team players in the mix, the word gets out pretty fast.
Last touch there comes off of Jackson. Will be a throw-in for Kennesaw State.
I did see that Argentina's senior women's national team is going to play some games in October, and I wondered if Kiara might get that call-up.
Clever layoff there. Almost another stunning goal from Allie Bryan, but a crucial block in front of goal from Queens.
You see the freshmen, though, starting to build connections in the final third.
Long ball here. Chance for Queens to break. Barbush gets first to that second ball. We see some defensive work here from Gaither, but she slips, is actually fouled, and will earn Queens a free kick.
Big tackle by Gaither. Big tackle there to win that back, earn the free kick, and more importantly, get her team into the attacking half.
No stranger to offense or defense. In high school was an offensive MVP in 2018, was a defensive MVP in 2019.
Those are the kind of players I love. I
Here.
love players who can play on either side of the ball.
Cross comes in from the left side. Higgs gets there first with her head. Fairley was thinking about the spectacular there. Instead, will take the easy pass. No, she won't. Fakes the pass. Here on the left side is Savannah Stewart. And that pass comes off a Kennesaw State defender last. Will be a throw-in for the Royals.
Nice defensive work by Hoskins there, dropping back, having to cover.
Mutterly's cross with the left foot. It's a good one. Header, but wide and high from Svensson.
That's great work from Sophia Mutterties on the left side, the junior from Wayne, Pennsylvania. Drifting wide a little bit from her central midfield position, but good on the ball to create the space. That little cut back to the left foot and a dangerous cross.
Mutterties, one of the few transfers in this program, coming from a fellow North Carolina program in High Point. Decker evaluates her options, goes the easy route of Malika. Malika, cross field to Kendall Higgs. Higgs looks out at the field in front of her. Rainwater with a one-touch pass to Allie Bryan. Ball over the top. Can Jensen get on the end of this one? No, she'll let it roll out for a throw-in.
The build up to the front line was very good there, and it started again with a pass out of the back by Kendall Higgs.
Jackson with a throw. Finds at the feet of Svensson. Right back to Jackson. Jensen with the pressure. Will be another throw for the Royals.
Jensen's played a lot of fullback in her career, played at the club level there, played at the high school level there, so she's a good defender high up the field for Benji Walton.
Benji Walton likened Mai Jensen to Catherine Schreck at the beginning of the year. has a beautiful left peg, which is easy to see why Benji Walton gave her that label. Good touch off the chest from Gaither, but her pass out wide lets her down. Kennesaw State with a throw in.
Rushed just a little bit that time trying to play Savannah Stewart. A little bit of a homecoming for Stewart, freshman from Alpharetta High School.
And early on, Jason, it looks like Nia Gaither can earn that time for her to find that pass. She just needs to make sure that she has it. So we see a cross come in from Allie Bryan. Touchdown from Singareya. Had an opportunity to get a shot off, and then we see a foul from Macy Rainwater.
You love to see players try to bring others into the game, and early in a game you can do that a little bit. Cinderella, maybe should have been more selfish there, but trying to set Rainwater up, laying that off. Later in the game, I think she gets a little more aggressive and goes to goal herself.
Benji Wan talked about trying to get Kiara Cinderella to be more selfish and to make those runs on the shoulder, just be more penetrative in her play.
I think it's just getting comfortable in a way. I mean, when you're making that long trip from Argentina to Kennesaw, Georgia, and playing with players you've never played with, you're trying to fit in. And sometimes that shows up in those sequences where you pass rather than go to goal yourself.
And it's 100% a different game.
Yeah, very different style, very different mentality. Good build-up here from Queens.
We see them play through Keely Jackson. Cross comes all the way through, almost found the feet of Jaira Durant, cut out by Malika. But Queens not done here yet. Great tackle here from Barbush on the edge of the box to prevent Gaither from running in.
We were talking about it coming into this. You look at the record, 5-3 in their first D1 season, the Royals, and you think they're going to struggle at this level, but their last two games, they've been in it the whole way. They're a very well-organized team.
And they move the ball to the byline, but Juliet Barbush has just been up for it, as she has been all season, Jason.
Sophomore from Florida. Good job at that left back position. That's one of those spots that we kind of wondered coming into the year, who would fill those boots.
Throw-in evades Gaither, cleared out by Higgs. Cinderella might be able to get onto it if it weren't for the physical play of Jada Palmer. Into the midfield for Queens. Here on the near side is Durant. Good ball onto the wing for Savannah Stewart. Cross in with the right foot. Header over Bly and in. And taking the early lead here through Ilda Svensson is the Queen Royals. And here in the 11th minute, it's Queens 1, Owls 0.
Great header from Svensson, looping it over Alana Bly. Kind of got caught a little bit off her line, but the whole play is created by Savannah Stewart, the freshman. A long run out of the back, kind of demanding the ball out on the flank. Got it, was able to cut back to her right foot. Good cross to give Svensson the opportunity to go up and get her head to it.
And in 3 matches, that's the first goal that the freshman Alana Bly has conceded. Maybe just caught a little bit flat-footed there, Jason?
Just a little bit off her line, but the Owls are trying to answer back quickly.
Through Jensen, cross comes in, and it's almost just a confusion there between Allie Bryan and Macy Rainwater. And Mai Jensen with a great intelligent play there to earn a corner for Kennesaw State.
Both teams in a moment after a goal is scored kind of lose their minds for a little bit of time. You want it to be a very short period of time. Poor defending from Queens in that last sequence, and in the attack, 2 Owls players come together. One needed to take the initiative and get the shot off.
As we see often, Cinderella over the corner.
Higgs at the top of the 6, has to be a target here.
Comes in. Rainwater almost got a glancing header onto it. Back to the 18, Kendall Hoskins. Looking for her first goal in her career. And what is her first start of the season, Jason?
Struck it well, but Erica Turner stayed on her line, had a clear line of sight there, and was able to pounce on the rebound. It was struck so well, she didn't try to catch, parried it down, was able to smother the rebound.
Headed straight up by Bryan. Jensen attempts to touch it down, but fairly put pressure on the freshman. Gaither out wide here. Barbush trying to make her uncomfortable. Cross out to the 18. Cleared out by Bryan. Fairly. Out wide for Stewart. Great pressure here from Hoskins, showing Benji Walton why he gave her the start today, but her pass unable to find Rainwater. Borgel puts that one back up toward the sophomore, and Rainwater is fouled by Morgan Reeb.
It's the quick reaction from Rainwater. She gets to the spot, maybe not going to be able to do a lot with that, but gets to the spot, knows she's going to get some contact, and gets a free kick in a pretty dangerous spot. It's probably on the very edge of Higgs or Cingarella's range. Borgelt has the boot to be able to put this on goal too, but you might be looking for the chip to the backside.
We know Cingarella's proficiency on free kicks as well as Kendall Higgs.
30 yards is right on the edge.
Higgs with a shot for the left foot and missed the post by about a foot there.
Narrowly missed there, Kendall Higgs. I'll take it back. Kendall's range might be about 40 yards. She struck that well, and I don't think Turner's getting to it if it's a foot on the other side.
We've seen her score goals like that before, notably against Bellarmine in fall of 2021. Goal kick from Turner. The Dubliner finds only the Kennesaw State Owl, Mai Jensen. Jensen with a great turn there. Finds Cingarella. Cingarella showing that dribbling flair that she possesses. We've seen so much of this year. Great diagonal. If it weren't for the defense of Savannah Stewart. And this one put straight up. And not taking any risks there is Turner.
Got to find that second ball when you can if you're the Owls. Queens, at times, good, well-organized defensively, but they're going to give up some second balls. They're going to give up some rebounds right in front of the back line. The Owls have to pounce on those.
Their assist came from the left side with a cross on Svensson's goal, but it seems like much of their attack is flowing through this right-hand side.
Would be curious to hear from Shannon Neely-Knoll, the manager or the head coach for Queens, as to what the approach is. A lot of teams will try to build the play on one side to finish on the opposite side.
Here's the goal scorer, tries to find a cross out to Durant. Instead, sails it out over the bar for a goal kick. Shannon Neely-Knoll, in her first season as a Division I coach, head or assistant, or rather, she has assisted a Division I side in Northwestern, but her first head coaching job, and of course, it's a transition for her as well, Jason.
She's been a coach and a DOC at the youth level at the Long Island Soccer Club, also the sporting director for the Long Island Rough Riders women's team, a longtime club in the USL. Was a goalkeeper at Ohio State. When you see a team that focuses on defense first, expected to be a former goalkeeper as the coach.
Kendall Higgs has to show her proficiency on defense here, defending Gaither, who in turn finds Svensson. Svensson. Great tackle there from Barbush. Has not been afraid to get physical.
Aggressive. Very aggressive, Barbush.
Thrown will be taken here by Keely Jackson. Chested down by Muttertees. Muttertees at the byline, near the corner flag. Great pass to almost find Svensson, but even better play from Jensen to cut that one out, but it gives the ball away. Another header, this time from the head of Grace Guglielmo, but straight down into the midsection of Alana Bly.
Didn't fully connect with that Guglielmo as she would have intended. Went straight down, took all the heat of it off of that, and Bly was able to gather it in easily.
Guglielmo, a multi-sport athlete. Always an interesting story, Jason. Also a member of the Queens lacrosse team.
Love to see that. We don't see that as much at the D1 level, but love to see that.
It's also the same case for her at New York Institute of Technology, where she transferred from. Great play here from Allie Bryan. Thinks about the shot. Instead, it was a clever pass inside for Macy Rainwater, but just a bit too heavy, and Erica Turner comes out to claim.
The connection's not quite firing in the final third just yet, but you see the individual level of talent of Allie Bryan. That's a great cutback on the dribble.
Just the first save that Alana Bly had to make on the header from Guglielmo. Durant out wide for the goal scorer, Svensson. Crosses in with her left foot, cut out by Higgs. Great touchdown from Bryan. And Jensen's pass will be handled with easily by Jada Palmer. Back to Turner, into the midfield for Fairley. I think Kennesaw State feeling maybe a little bit hard done by with the way the plays flowed.
Yeah, they dropped off just a little bit in that last sequence. It was a little too easy for the Royals to find a way out of their own half. The intensity has to stay up for the Owls.
Durant slipped before the pass came in and is waved for offside.
Coming back from an offside position, AR had the flag up.
Long ball. Great touch from Cinderella.
So technical.
Hoskins in space here on the near side. Takes on her defender and almost gets to it, if not for the play of Muddertees. Stewart. Gaither. Back for Palmer. Owls working the other way now. Kendall Higgs' pass intended for Jensen, who eventually gets on the end of it. Barbush. Just a bit of a miscue there as Macy Rainwater was waiting for the pass on the line. Will go out for a Queen's throw.
Royals have looked very good in the early going, looking for their first win in ASUN play. The Owls trying to stay unbeaten and maybe caught a little by surprise out of the attacking ability of the Royals.
Would be a night of first for Queens, and trying to help her team get there is Gaither. Cross comes off Higgs, but straight back to the feet of Gaither. Svensson. Gaither again. Cross comes in, not completely dealt with by Decker. Guglielmo with a long shot, but wide and high for a goal kick. A night of first, it could be for Queens. Could be the first win of head coach Shannon Neely Noel's career. Could be the first Division I win in the history of this program. And what is the first ever meeting between Queens and Kennesaw State?
You go back to the last match against Stetson, where Stetson scored first. Queens was able to respond, equalize through Nia Gaither, and then conceded 5 minutes later a 2-1 loss, a 1-0 loss in the conference opener to Florida Gulf Coast. They've had their chances, and they've been good defensively. They get the first goal here. I'll be curious to see how they handle that if this match stays 1-0 as it gets later into the night.
Kennesaw State might have to really take the game to Queens now as Decker puts that one up right back where it came from Keely Jackson. Muddertees. Svensson was looking for the clever layoff, and now working the other way here is Kiata Cinderella.
Great turn, but an even better recovery there to win it back by Fairley.
But didn't put her head down. Cinderella wins the ball back for her team. Decker in the midfield for Bryan, whose first touch doesn't seem like it's let her down once today.
You have to look at the intensity between both teams, and what the Royals are doing so well, with the exception of that great turn from Bryan, is closing things down quickly.
Just the final ball letting Kennesaw State down here is Jensen. Out toward the edge of the box is Rainwater. Into the midfield for Borgelt. Shot comes in with the left foot, but does not trouble Erica Turner at all.
Maybe settled for the longer shot there, just a little bit too early. What's been so impressive for the Royals, though, watch how they close players down in the middle third. They're aggressive defensively. That's because they trust this goalkeeper, Erica Turner. They trust this back line that has a lot of minutes between them.
Fairley for Guglielmo. Tries to put a ball in a channel. There was a foot race between Gaither and Barbush, but putting an end to that race at the finish line was Alana Bly. So
There's a lot of space in this that Queens is starting to find. Again, I think it's the intensity for the Owls that has to pick up a little bit to close down those gaps.
Throw in here for the hosts.
It's smart from Turner, who's recognized it. You don't have to play out of the back if they can skip that and play into the midfield. And the Royals have done a good job of that so far.
Here she is with the pass back, booted straight up in the air. Jackson onto the head of Higgs, who heads it right back into the possession of Guglielmo and the Royals. Reeb out to the left back, Savannah Stewart. She started every match here for the Royals. Durant. Gaither showing off her hold-up play skills. Out wide for Keely Jackson.
Royals have numbers forward here.
Scary moments potentially here for Kennesaw State. Svensson, great defense here from Jensen, but can she turn it into attack?
You see the strength of Svensson. Couldn't quite handle Bryan coming over to double up.
Jensen, great job there to beat her defender and earns her side a free kick.
Good battling from the freshman Jensen.
And maybe this shows what that Benji Walton has not necessarily enjoyed what he's seen, due to make 4 substitutions here in just a moment.
Have to shake it up a little bit. It's just been in some of those spots, and the one that has jumped out to me is when Turner has time to pick out a pass. She's able to play into the midfield, and there's time to control it and turn for Royals midfielders.
Bly into Decker. It does appear that most of the changes will come to the forward line for Kennesaw State. Not really any surprise there.
Fresh legs. You want to continue that pressure.
Muttertees into Fairley. Here she is again, Fairley. Cinderella now. Kennesaw State. Great play here from Cinderella. And almost just tried to do it all herself when Rainwater was there for the layoff.
I think she wanted to get that to Rainwater, but it was taken away. It's a tough one because you're getting jostled the whole way. It's hard to pick out that pass when you're under such physical pressure.
Crowded in a sea of white was Cinderella, and now with great pace here is Muttertees. Tries to put it toward Durant, Decker, back onto Muttertees, and eventually Svensson. Muttertees. Back to Keely Jackson. Allie Bryan has just been such a calming presence in both attack and defense.
And dropping deep when she needs to.
Rainwater, diagonal, out to Hoskins. Cannot beat her defender, however. Borgelt, though, stopping the transition.
The 1v1 duels so far, the Royals are winning the majority of them.
Hoskins. Bryan. Calm defending there from Reeb to just take it off her chest. Higgs with a great ball.
Unbelievable ball.
Cinderella onto her left foot. Great sliding challenge there from Morgan Reeb to prevent Cinderella from equalizing the scoreline. Svensson. Fairley. The most penetrative ball we've seen today, Jason, comes off the foot of the left center back.
It's a great ball by Higgs, and Cinderella, you know she's going to try to cut that back to that left foot. Was able to get there, but Reeb closed it down quickly.
Number of substitutions, players coming in here, including Stella Allen, Teresa Woke, Addison Neal, as well as Agatha Gianni, who has played mostly in the number 10, but looks like she'll be playing out wide on the left side here.
I think Woke and Gianni give you more of that intensity that's needed, and it can open up some space for Stella Allen, who has 3 goals on the year.
Muttertees looks to turn. Cannot find Keely Jackson, however. Throw-in taken quickly. Gianni.
Intensity and pressure can be contagious. You get a couple of subs coming and doing it, it picks up across the board.
Woke with a pass into Allen. Kennesaw State's leading goal scorer. Malika gets to that one. Here on the right side is Kendall Hoskins. Onto her left. Back for Woke. Malika is out wide here. Cross comes in, straight into the midsection of Turner.
Got to get those crossing opportunities first, though. That was well worked to create the opportunity. The quality will come.
Great turn there from Hoskins. Otherwise, the pressure was going to be imminent. And the ball over the top from Malika is unable to find Neal.
Continue getting Malika forward, though, because she has the ability to put that pass where it needs to be. That's a couple she's mishit. That's okay. You need to keep giving her those opportunities.
17 minutes left here in the first half. Great touchdown from Gaither. And this run from Jai Durant could cause problems for Malika. Malika will just put it out for the throw in as the ball slowly reaches the touchline.
Good defending from Malika. Good positioning. Strong to hold off the challenge. That's one where you wonder if Bly can handle that pass back and be able to keep possession.
Stewart finds the 1-2 from Mutterly's. Cross comes in. We're looking for another header from Svensson, which is the difference maker here in the first half.
Higgs' aggressiveness, though, winning those aerial duels.
Fairly right into the knees of Teresa Woke. Kennesaw State have to get numbers forward here. It's Gianni looking at the run of Allen. We all know what a danger she is. Gianni was looking for that incisive pass. But again, we talked about how that final ball is just what's missing here. Really the only exception, that one from Kendall Higgs to find Cinderella we saw earlier.
Yeah, and it's a well-organized backline for the Royals, so there's not going to be a ton of space. Sometimes that final ball might come from a deeper position where there's a little more space to pick it out.
Just 2 saves in this one so far, 1 for each goalkeeper. And of course, the goal that Alana Bly could unfortunately not get to, coming off the head of the Swede, Hilda Svensson.
Such a well-placed header by Svensson.
Stewart. Here out wide is Mutterly's to the byline. Back for the left back. Onto her left foot. Higgs has to clear that one out. Incredibly two-footed player is the left back, Savannah Stewart, Jason.
Stewart's been really impressive. You don't see many fullbacks wearing number 10. That immediately grabs your attention.
And now grabbing the attention of Kennesaw State's defense is Gaither. Out wide here. Moves it onto her left foot. But anything that you can do physically, Kendall Higgs is equal to. Gianni maintains possession.
Great work by Gianni.
Great ball over the top as well. Could find the run of Allen. And coming out, having to play sweeper-keeper is Erica Turner.
That's the comfort, though, that you have from Turner. You can play a high line. She's good with her feet, so she can come out and clean those up. You can also play back to her in possession. Talked about the way you build a team. Some managers are going to build it through possession. Some managers are going to build it through like a section of the field, like the central midfield. Queens, building out of the back, building from the back to the front. You see the quality of the goalkeeper allowing them to do that.
And it's not surprise at all, given their coach, is it?
No, not at all. And you know that coming up from D2, you always wonder if players are going to be able to handle that jump, even goalkeepers. But Turner looks like a top goalkeeper in this conference, and this is her first year at the D1 level.
It looks like replacing Logan Fairley in the number 6 position will be Daniela Calm, Barcelona native. Always captures the eye, doesn't it, Jason?
You see a player from Barcelona, and you expect them to be very technical.
Turner. Found the head of Woke. Higgs tries to find Neal. Would eventually do so if it wasn't for Jada Palmer. Calm, her first touch of the ball. Higgs has had a busy day at center back so far. Her first game that I've ever seen her in that position. Hoskins more through the middle here. Neal.
Great turn by Hoskins.
Malika wins that one, does well. Stella Allen, some trickery there. Has the ball out wide, thinks about the cross, takes it to the byline. Savannah Stewart showing what she's shown all day, and that's extreme promise at the left back position.
Two freshmen from high school programs near us, Allen from Brookwood High School over in Snellville, Stewart from Alpharetta High School.
Malika with the throw in as the Owls try to find an answer here with 12 and a half minutes left in the first half. Stella Allen trying some fantastic work here to try and just discomfort the back line of Queens a little bit.
Would not be surprised if those two have matched up at some point, either at the youth level or at the high school level.
Malika with the throw in. And it will come off her this time as Queens will have the throw in.
But it's a throw deep in the corner. This is an opportunity to try to force a turnover.
Another substitution here as Noelle Roberts comes in for Nia Gaither. And the Kennesaw State substitution as making way for Kendall Hoskins. Woke, heads that one straight up. Neal trying to put Guglielmo off her game, but unable to do so. As Elizabeth Rodenroth, who came in for Kendall Hoskins. Someone whose father we know well, Jason Longshore, comes and shoots some Atlanta United matches.
Probably here taking pictures.
Gianni. Brian has space, takes the shot. It's off Reeb. Allen. Cross comes in. And getting to it first is Neal with a shot. And having to get that exactly right, Jason, was Keely Jackson.
Yeah, it's a tricky one for Jackson because she doesn't know what's behind her, because that's a shot, in my opinion, maybe could have been across to the back post. Jackson has to get to that, can't just let it ride, but can't put it back on her own goal.
And with Cinderella off the pitch, a little more uncertainty on who's going to take the corner. And it appears it'll be Decker. Has Gianni as the short option. Corner comes in. In space was Kendall Higgs, was looking for something extravagant, but able to pull it off. Noelle Roberts the other way. And getting to that one first was Rodenroth, puts it out for the throw.
Higgs flying across on that corner, just couldn't connect.
Barbush with the throw into the feet of Brian. Noelle Roberts, loose touch. Ball bouncing around the midfield. Decker puts it up. Possession hopping back and forth between these two sides. Rodenroth, touch for Brian. Back into the back line for Decker. Decker started this season mostly in a fullback position, but we see her in the middle of the defense today.
A lot of leadership between Higgs and Decker in that back line.
And we've seen a lot of great passes sprayed out by Higgs as well. Brian maintains possession. Gianni in space here on the near side. Cross comes in. Just caught Addison Neal a bit flat-footed, but sailing that one over the bar was Elizabeth Rodenroth.
Rodenroth's first appearance of 2022, fifth game in her KSU career. Struck that well coming back across.
Goal kick taken short. Stewart. 1-2 played with calm.
Better pressure there from the Owls, though. Would force the turnover.
Would be great timing for them to find a reply here with 8 minutes left in the first half. Higgs. And now Higgs' pass is blocked, and Svensson looks for the run of Noelle Roberts. Has Jaira Durant almost in space on the other side. Elects for the shot. Alana Bly wise to it.
Good work with Decker coming across as Higgs was caught there, maybe a little too aggressive, trying to win that ball back quickly. Decker took away the easy cross and gave Bly everything that she could see in front of her.
Bly with a punt. Will go through for Palmer. Turner. Queen's doing a good job of winning a lot of these second balls, Jason.
They're winning all the 50-50s. They've done such a good job in winning the duels tonight.
Barbush. Unable to get that one onto Neal, but it was almost a loose touch there from Palmer. Recovers and puts it into midfield for Calm. Muttertees. Great pass into Roberts. Will be put out by Decker for a throw-in.
About 6.5 left. Really curious to see what Benji Walton is thinking about at halftime to change things up.
Great passing play in here. Ends with the intervention of Malika. Another throw-in for the Royals. Comes off a Queens player last. Malika with a throw.
Calm trying to spin that time. Couldn't quite pull the move off.
Bly. Higgs pass miscued there and pushed down by Allie Bryan is Muttertees. Wins her side a free kick.
It's a little bit of the adjustment to playing center back. That's a slightly risky ball that if you play that in the attacking half, no problem. Playing it there out in the back, you turn that over, you're a little exposed. Higgs will pick it up. She's such an intelligent player. It's just balancing the risk-reward at times.
Over the free kick is Svensson. Looping ball over the top. And that one would have gone wide, but Bly kept it in to make sure that no further issues occurred.
That's why having Higgs on the back line is so important. She doesn't win that, but she goes for it so strongly that she affects it.
Barbush into Neal, who was potentially fouled there. Great ball on the inside for Gaither, or rather Durant, and playing sweeper-keeper there, just like we saw from Erica Turner earlier, was her adversary, Alana Bly.
That's the Barcelona kind of pass that we expected out of Daniela Calm. Bent it around the defenders. What a ball.
And what a turn there that we saw from Keely Jackson, winning her side another free kick. 4.5 minutes here, and it looks more and more likely that Queens will go into the locker room at halftime with a 1-goal advantage.
I've been so impressed with the Royals so far. So well organized, aggressive in the right spots, a really good game plan coming into this, and they've controlled the play.
Svensson on the free kick again. Another looping ball comes in. Durant against Malika. Durant. Great tackle in there from Malika. And letting that one roll out is Durant. Corner here with 4 minutes left.
Calm coming across to take it. She has a really good right foot. Gonna hit an in-swinger here.
Corner comes in. Headed back by Bryan. Calm will just let it roll out calmly for a throw-in.
Ba-dum-bum.
We did find it amusing that her father, apparently named Xavi, a lot of connections there.
Perfect.
Current Barcelona manager, Barcelona legend.
Just absolutely perfect.
Just coincidence, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And Kennesaw State will stop the clock to make the substitution. Coming in is Brenna Young. Will making way is Allie Bryan.
9th game of the year for Young. She has an assist already.
Actually, pardon my mistake there. Clock continues to run. Malika. Neal. Allen on the right side. Edge of the box. Still Allen. Still Allen. Cross comes in. It was a dangerous run right across the face of goal, Jason.
Needed someone on that back post.
And now, Queens looking dangerous the other way. Svensson. 3-on-3 action there was Woke against Svensson. Svensson got the better of that battle.
Played inside to Calm and a great first touch to keep possession. She's back on it now.
Calm. Back to Guglielmo. Evaluating her options is Palmer. It's Guglielmo again. And that pass evading everybody.
Yeah,
Kennesaw
expected
State.
Stewart to make that run forward.
Kennesaw State. A minute and a half to make something happen here. Malika will earn a throw-in slightly higher up the pitch on the edge of the attacking third.
We talk about field position a lot in American football, but it's an important factor at this level as well. Sometimes just getting that extra 15, 20 yards up the field as you get late with about 65 seconds left can make all the difference.
Easier to evaluate with the lines on the pitch as well, right?
Helps a little bit, yeah. But field position is an important factor at times. Sometimes you're not going to be able to build out of the back. Switch the field, play it long, and try to play in the other team's half.
And Malika sort of faked the long throw in there. And cutting out the run of Noel Roberts was Teresa Woke.
This is why you want to flip the field, because look, now the Owls have everything in the attacking half.
And a foul there came from Addison Neal, or it was actually, might have been an offside call.
Yeah, coming back from that offside position, Neal tried to step back but couldn't quite time it. This will allow the Royals to really ride the clock out.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And that wraps up action here in the first half here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium, where Queens leads Kennesaw State 1-0 off an 11th minute goal from Hilda Svensson. What a header it was, Jason.
Great header. Bly caught just a little off her line, but Svensson with the looping header. So far, that's the difference. And again, the Royals offensively have been a little challenged this year, but defensively, they've been very strong, and they've looked it tonight.
Queens showing that they're not a product of their record at all this season.
Not at all. This is a well-organized team. They believe in each other. A lot of players have made the jump from D2 to D1 with this squad, so that internal belief is very strong. Now they have to protect a lead. That's something that they haven't had to do this season.
Queens taking the fight to Kennesaw State here in the first half, but there's still plenty of more fight left in this one. Second half coming up soon.
Live, learn, and thrive at U Point Kennesaw Youth Club on Prey. The best Kennesaw student living and proud sponsor of KSU Athletics. Secure your space today at AmericanCampus.com/Kennesaw. Adidas is the official sponsor of Kennesaw State Athletics. Fans, please turn your attention to the field as Leslie and Gabriella complete the burrito roll race. The two students will race to put together the human burrito and roll to the finish line. Ready, set, go! Gabrielle.
This guy's going to tackle you if you try to run on the field. He's going to grab you.
Fans, download the official Owl Rewards app and become a member of our Owl Rewards program today. Members earn points for attending KSU athletic events and redeem those points for prizes in the prize store. The app is free, easy to use, and available for iPhone and Android users.
Fifth Third Bank. Yeah, it's a quirky name. But here's the thing. 5/3 equals 166.7%. So we put 166.7% into everything we do. Like automatically giving your paycheck up to 2 days early. Giving you global extra time to avoid overdraft fees. And helping you grow from your future self. This is banking a Fifth Third Bank.
Owl Nation, single game tickets are now for sale for the 2022 Kennesaw State home football season. Number 6 Owls are home 6 Saturdays this fall right here at Third Bank Stadium. Here are your 6 game tickets today to be a part of KSU Switch to the A-Sun Conference. Visit KSUHours.com/tickets or call the ticket office at 470-578-HOURS to purchase your tickets today.
I go through my primary care system. I think it's important to have somebody to go to that knows you, that knows the history of your house. When you walk in the door, there's a relationship with that doctor.
I want to support people to lead the best lives possible. What I care about in medicine is establishing relationships with people, getting to know them, and seeing their journeys and helping them through their journeys. And I knew that this is giving the reward of seeing people blossom and achieving their goals.
Atlanta Air Charter has provided on-demand air travel to Metro Atlanta for over 50 years. Our drive continues to the aviation community to our established Part 141 certificated flight school. The foundation of your professional pilot career is right down the street at Cobb County International Airport. Contact us at www.atlantaairacademy.com and schedule your introductory flight with Atlanta Air Academy, a proud supporter of Kennesaw State Athletics.
kids. I probably feel really happy. Like everyone is like they're really friendly and nice, and like I love the team. And stuff like that. I'd have to say my work ethic. I'm a really hard worker, and I was 5, and I think it was for upward start. I know that we have a very big goal this season, and we want to make it very far. So I think we should see it as much as we can.
Owls fans, don't forget the women's soccer returns to pitch here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium on Sunday, September 25th at 1 p.m. against the Liberty Flames. Gates open at 12 p.m. Go out. Fans, make sure to come out and support your Owls this weekend with volleyball at the Convocation Center on Friday and Saturday. Football at Fifth Third Bank Stadium on Saturday, and soccer back at Fifth Third Bank Stadium on Sunday. Times and other information is available on KSU Owls.
Welcome back to Fifth Third Bank Stadium in Kennesaw, Georgia, where the Kennesaw State Owls currently trail Queens University 1-0 at halftime. Jason, we talked about how Kennesaw State was going to have to take the game to Queens University, and they have the shot advantage, but not having the shot on target advantage.
Yeah, I think they've had the overall control of the play in the first 45, but as the half went on, the Royals looked more and more comfortable. That's got to change. Now, at halftime, you might have seen the screen and seen the Royals out on the field very early, probably very happy with their first 45. The Owls, very late coming back out to the field. Maybe a few things needed to be reminded to them to take that initiative. You know, we don't have the duels numbers or the duels, as our old friend Frank DeBoer would say, but my guess is the Royals have won that dominantly, and that has to change. Sometimes the stat sheet doesn't give us everything. In this one, it shows that Kennesaw's right there, but in all of the maybe intangibles, all the intensity kind of levels, it's been Queens controlling the game.
Knowing what we know about Queens and the strength of their defense, are they going to buckle up and try to hold on to that 1-0 advantage?
That's the interesting element of it. And again, you're back into this spot where they've never been in. They've never had to protect a lead for this long, this late, at this level. Do they bunker? I don't think they need to right now. I think they're organized enough to continue to play the way that they're playing. I thought bringing Daniela Kalm on gave them more of an ability to play through the midfield. Does that continue? Or you get late, you start to add more defenders. When does that come? Is it going to start in the second half, or is it going to come maybe in the last 15, 10 minutes?
Quick look at scores around the A-Sun. Jason, Jacksonville looking like a brand new program, currently leading Stetson 2-1.
Late goal in the first half for Jacksonville to take that 2-1 lead. Florida Gulf Coast with a 1-0 lead over North Florida at home. And the other three games have all either just started or are about to start. Austin Peay at Central Arkansas, Liberty, who will be here on Sunday, at Jacksonville State, and Lipscomb at North Alabama.
Benji Walton fielding a side that might have picked who highlighted for him in the first half. We're seeing a new front line of Singerea, Stella Allen, Allie Bryan, and it looks like Macy Rainwater might play at the number 10 position. However, it's Queens that kicks us off. Gaither into Keely Jackson, rather. Passing in the midfield for Guglielmo. Fairley, who's come back into this matchup after being subbed off in the first half. Durant. Gaither. Queens looking dangerous here early on. Savannah Stewart, the left back, got up. Has a pass in to Muddertees. Fairley being challenged by Singerella. Muddertees also being challenged by Singerella. Wins the ball. Man, she's so clever on the dribble, isn't she, Jason?
She's so fearless on the dribble as well.
Malika. Decker. Benji Walton keeping that center back pairing of Decker and Higgs. Bryan, who's perhaps been Kennesaw State's best player today, showing exactly why there. Clever move from the freshman.
Going back to that center back pairing, I think it's worked. You know, the goal that they give up, outside of that, there really wasn't much danger from Queens. It's been the middle third where I feel like the Royals have had their strongest play.
It was a goal from the Swede for Queens University, Hilda Svensson, off a great right-footed cross from the left back, Savannah Stewart.
Svensson did not play in 2021, 29 games in her first 2 years. That was her first goal for the Royals.
One of the team captains for Coach Neely Noel. Hoskins. Loses out. Durant. Has to be smart there with... Malika has to be smart there with Durant right on her back. Woke. Rainwater. Could be something here for Kennesaw State. Singerella. Great move there. Almost got on the end of that one after putting it past Jada Palmer, but comes off Cinderella. Last will be a goal kick for Turner and Queens.
Jada Palmer, more experience than Cinderella at the college level. Cinderella played in the Argentine league that is becoming professional. It wasn't professional when she was playing in it, but Palmer has handled things really well in the back for the Royals.
Do you think the front line for Kennesaw State has to put more pressure on the defensive midfield and back line for Queens?
Yeah, I think so at this point. You know, you get into this point of the season where you're starting to have the games pile up. You have the Thursday, Sunday kind of deals. You deal with Sunday when you get to Sunday. They've got to find a way to turn this game around, and I think pressuring the back line of Queens is going to be the way to do it.
Cinderella trying to do exactly that. Incisive pass toward the sophomore Macy Rainwater. Unable to return the favor, though, towards Cinderella. And it will be a throw-in for Queens.
Just that composure in the final third. It's been lacking at times for the Owls tonight.
All the way back toward Bly. Decker, Bly. Playing somewhat of a dangerous game here, but doing it calmly, collectively.
Trying to create some space in behind by doing that, and it's worked.
And they found Brian. Brian just so deceptive in her play. Cinderella. Faked the pass out wide toward Barbush. Brian defended expertly there by Guglielmo.
Guglielmo just completely bossed that situation to win the ball back.
It's not easy to do with how good Brian has been today either. Savannah Stewart dispossessing Kendall Hoskins. Hoskins, who looked like she might have been the most dangerous player in the game in the opening minutes of this one. Had a couple shots early on.
Good start to the game, but as it's gone on, it's been Stewart who's really controlled that side of the pitch.
And it looked like another chance there of a break for Kennesaw State. But the defense so expertly cut out so many chances for Kennesaw State.
Love that aggressiveness from Woke to win the ball back for the Owls, though.
Speaking of aggressiveness here on the right side, Kennesaw State wins their side. A throw in, taken here by Malika.
Yeah, we've talked a lot about the freshmen for the Owls. They have 11. That's tied for 11th in the country in terms of having the most freshmen. 10 of them have already seen playing time through the first 7 games. But Savannah Stewart, freshman for the Royals, has been at that level or maybe even better today.
Brian, that pass cut out there. Queens moving quickly in the other direction. Here on the left side is Durant.
It's a great break for the Royals.
Such speed for Queens here. Coming through Gaither and Durant. Is that a foul there? No, says the referee.
No, nothing in it looked like.
Cinderella can't get on the end of that one. Now it's Queens doing the pinning in the final third.
Aggressiveness from Jackson to step up and win that from Cinderella.
Fairly. Muttertees. That one cut out by Woke. Having to run onto it is Malika.
The intensity has to pick up more for the Owls because the Royals are seemingly first to every ball.
And it was almost happened exactly there. Gaither pressuring Teresa Woke. Bly rolls it out to Decker. Into the feet of Hoskins. Miscue here. Durant. Still Durant. Back for Guglielmo. Diagonal. Will evade everybody. Will go out for a goal kick.
In the middle third, the Royals do such a good job of trapping. They have defenders, midfielders who step up, close down the play quickly, but it's not just one. It's usually 2. And they're creating turnovers. That's a couple of times that the Owls have tried to play out of their back line into the midfield, and it's been turned over because of pressure from the Royals.
Jason, what do you think the message from Coach Benji Walton was at halftime, and do you think that they're pulling off what he's instructed of them?
I'm not sure what the message was. I think for me, the intensity was probably the number one thing. And look, it's easy when you're playing a team that hasn't won all season and is new to this level. to maybe not look at the game the same way as you walk into it. But it was evident pretty quickly that the Royals were here to play and a very good team. The intensity has to pick up. I think in the second 45, it's really going to be down to finding the right combination of players for the Owls that will work.
Jackson's throw in is headed back by Higgs. And grabbing a hand of Cinderella there was Gaither.
It's a smart foul. You don't mind that if you're Shannon Neely-Noel. You don't let the break happen. And that's a senior kind of play from Nia Gaither. Cinderella starting to get ahead of steam, playing into the middle third. Gaither just slows that down with a foul.
Bryan into Rainwater. 1-2 here between Cinderella and Rainwater. Danger here for Queens. Rainwater onto her right foot. Takes a long shot! And a fingertip save over the bar from Erica Turner. And that is the most danger we've seen from the Kennesaw State attack today.
Quick, decisive play in the final third. The 1-2 with Cinderella and Rainwater. Brilliant. Rainwater cuts back to her right foot. Goes for the far upper 90. And what a save from Erica Turner to get her hand to it and push it wide.
Cinderella now over the corner. Malika as the short option. Looking to attack that near post was Stella Allen. Will come back toward Malika, however. Woke. Had to be smart on the turn there and did exactly that. Barbush. Caught out by Gaither. Win that second ball, though.
The response, excellent from Barbush.
The press box just rumbled. I felt like we felt that tackle a little bit, Jason.
The heavy challenge, but the turnover, look, it's going to happen. You want to play with the ball at your feet. You're going to have turnovers from time to time. It's how you respond. And Barbush immediately turned into a defender and won a big tackle.
Throw in here for Queens.
Just inching forward into the attacking half.
Higgs boots it back where it came from. Stella Allen unable to get on the end of that one due to the intervention of Morgan Reeb. Savannah Stewart here on the far side, the creator of the first goal, has shown just how extremely two-footed she is. We've seen crosses with both her left and her right foot, creating the goal with the right foot. Impressive from a player at this level.
She's always looking to get into the attack as well. That sequence that led to the goal, she made the run from about 10 yards inside her half, kept going, kept pointing, wanted that ball played to her, and finally got it and delivered a great cross.
And the referee, Daniel Tibbetts, wants that ball back to where it came out of. Malika was trying to inch up the pitch.
Hey, sometimes you take that field position however you can.
You take what they can give you. Higgs with a long diagonal was perhaps looking for the run of Hoskins on that far side. However, Stella Allen was closest to it. Now it's Queens the other way. Great layoff pass from Muttertees into Durant. And in turn, a great tackle from Macy Rainwater, who is such a tenacious, feisty energy. She could be Kendall Higgs' daughter for all we know, Jason.
Those are the players that you need. You need to win those tackles. You need to put your body on the line at times. Again, it's contagious. When you start to see players do it, then it spreads throughout the team.
Rainwater trying to up the energy levels of this team as we see a great diagonal ball evade Allie Bryan, who's been getting a lot more forward than we saw of her in the first half, was mostly a playmaker in the first 45.
That's okay. The long ball over the top, it doesn't quite connect. That's okay. You still get a throw out of it in the attacking half. Make it count.
And we're seeing some great turns here from the Owls thus far. Marshalling exactly where she wants her teammates to go is Rainwater, and a great dribble set up the shot for her, but the spectacular is difficult to pull off at times, Jason.
And the final ball. It's the final ball. I'm not sure if she's really wanting to go to goal there, but the final pass has to connect.
Malika just right into the feet of Guglielmo. Pass towards Svensson was cut out.
Good pressure from Barbush.
Hoskins with a really clever play there. It's not always that easy to know where your defender is and to just give them your back like that. Great use of her body.
Quick sub for the Owls.
And it looks like it was Hoskins who made way for Addison Neal, who will take her first touch here. Malika. Neal again. Stella Allen earns another throw in here.
This back line for the Royals, outstanding tonight.
And it's been difficult to single any of them out as well.
No, it's a complete unit. The four across the back and the goalkeeper Turner.
Rainwater looking to put an end to their proficiency of the back line, but Morgan Reeb comes out big, prevents the run of Rainwater into the box.
There's
now
always
Fairley.
another white shirt every time.
Kennesaw in the black and gold, playing in a sea of white, belonging to Queens. Headed on by Stewart. Decker looking to make something happen. Will come up from defense. Allie Bryan now looks for the long shot. Well wide, however, will be a goal kick for Queens.
That's the balancing act, and that's the tough part of this. You need to put pressure on the Royals. You need to make them, kind of tremble a little bit with getting numbers forward, but you can't settle for those shots. That feels like it's rushed a little bit.
Is that the pressure of that number 10 position, Jason? I mean, Allie Bryan has been one of, if not the best, Kennesaw State Owls we've seen today, but that position, you always feel the pressure of unlocking the defense, putting something on goal.
Yeah, it can be. And for a young player, it can be even more so pressure of dealing with the situation.
Cinderella. Back to Decker. Put under pressure by Gaither. Bly has time and space. Decker up to Neal. One touch pass for Malika. Tried to return the favor. Will go out for a throw in as that ball was deflected into the stands. That one came off Bryan last. Will be a throw in for Queens.
Maybe not the best decision on that throw there. Bryan's boxed in by two. Just no opportunity to really get it and turn.
We've reached the point where there's a half hour left in this one for Kennesaw State to find an answer. Knowing Benji Walton in this side, though, they're going to want to find more than an answer. They're going to want to find the winner. It's been difficult with the way that the defense for Coach Neely Knoll and the Queens defense has been set up today. Guglielmo, diagonal out wide for Keely Jackson. Svensson, the goal scorer, whose header is the difference maker in this one so far. Barbush, though, has probably been the defensive standout of this back line for Kennesaw State. Miscommunication there between Bryan and Rainwater will give possession back to Queens. Fairley. Svensson. Try to loop that one over the top. Was dealt with by Higgs. Speaking of making things happen and feeling that pressure, Cinderella with her skills, with her passion.
But she's trying to get that to calm down. She does it first with her movement on the ball, putting her foot on top of the ball, trying to calm everything down. Then you could see she wanted to keep that, not play it long. She's won it back now. Let's see if they can rebuild the way she wanted to.
Get that feeling from her that she could really play any position on this field. And a little bit of a controversial call here from the assistant referee about which way this ball is going. It's adjudicated to be a throw-in for Svensson and Queens.
These are the moments where you see leaders emerge. There are leaders in this Kennesaw State team, but right now they're all kind of in the back. Somebody in the attack has to become a leader in this group.
Mutterly's tried to turn and pass at the same time towards Svensson. Cinderella now with a driving pace through the middle. Still Cinderella. It's almost like there's a magnet in her boots at times. That one evaded her, though. Kennesaw State now. Rainwater Probably should have looked for the more lateral pass there. This pass, however, evades everybody, and Kennesaw State will get possession back through the throw-in.
Sometimes just trying to do a little too much. There's still plenty of time in this match, but at times the Owls are just rushing things in the attacking half.
And it looks like there is a switch, substitution, as Ali Bryan made way for Gianni. However, it looks like Cinderella will become almost more of a second striker here, as Gianni will come out wide. There's a clever thought there with the back heel, but unable to come off. And now is Muttertees, lays it off for Fairley.
As you get later into this, the Owls are going to have to get more direct. Going to 2 up top makes sense.
Higgs, long ball. Extravagant here from Cinderella.
Great work to win that. Keep it. Find a teammate.
And Woke in turn finds Neal. Malika in space here on the right side. Good opportunity here as the cross comes in. Headed straight up. Gianni, unable to head it down. Ball bouncing around the Queen's box, eventually cleared by Savannah Stewart.
Still in the final third, though.
Gianni. Pass there for Cinderella, but fantastic defensive work there from Sophia Muttertees.
Muttertees knew that she could not let Cinderella get on that with the left foot and hit a bomb from 20 yards.
Svensson. Into the middle for Muttertees. Shove in the back from Teresa Woke. Queens keeps possession. And now danger the other direction. Savannah Stewart, cross in. Gaither with a turn into the box. Shot comes in. And another shot narrowly missing that post of Alana Bly.
Didn't miss by much. It's good 1v1 defending by Higgs. A great ball by Stewart into the 18. Doesn't just whip across in and see what happens. She picked out a pass. Gaither with her back to goal wasn't able to turn and get a great look because of the defending from Higgs.
And we'll see another switch here as Cinderella makes way for Mai Jensen. And taking that second striker position is Rainwater up top with Stella Allen.
I feel like Rainwater might be the one to break through.
Allen touches it inside. Neal. Reeb finds the feet of Muttertees. Guglielmo out for Keely Jackson. And Queens doesn't look very tired here. Mind you, Jason, that Kennesaw State has made a lot more substitutions than Queens has in this game.
Yeah, that's a little bit of the jump from D2 to D1. You don't have a ton of depth, but the Royals look fine, again, because they're controlling the game.
Still 25 minutes left in this one. We'll see if that lack of depth becomes a factor late on. Higgs had to make the sliding intervention to prevent Nia Gaither running onto that one. Does exactly that. Kennesaw State with an 11-8 shot advantage. However, it is currently Queens who has the winner through Hilda Svensson. Higgs boots that one back into the midfield for Fairley of Queens. Jensen does enough to prevent Fairley from running on to that dribble past her. Guglielmo. Rainwater wanted the handball there. Difficult from this angle to see if that's exactly what happened. It's Malika here against Noelle Roberts. Malika gets the better of Roberts. Gets that ball up for Allen. Was looking for the run of Rainwater. Putting that one out is Jada Palmer. Throwing here for Kennesaw State. Through the legs is Rainwater of Savannah Stewart. However, it's now Noelle Roberts as it seems like Kennesaw State is getting step 1 right, step 2 right, but it's step 3 that's fading them right now.
Consistently defending in waves, the Royals. You might beat one. Kennesaw's done a pretty good job of beating one defender, but the second defender is winning the ball.
And Rainwater just lets that one run through. Difficult to tell if that was her intention or if that was just A loose touch. Malika. That one will go out for a Queen's throw. A little less than 23 minutes left in this one.
Owls have to shake things up here. They're going to have to find something that they haven't really shown too much of in this game, because they're going to have to get more direct. They're going to have to get forward faster. But Queens has done such a good job of winning that second ball. That's got to change.
We saw Benji Walton there with the notebook trying to find that solution. Malika up. Cut out by Stewart. Guglielmo back for Reeb. Reeb all the way back for Turner. And that one may have been, was it a touch off the hand there, Jason, or is that a foul? 29 on 29.
Looked like the mannerisms were suggesting a handball.
Will be a free kick for Kennesaw State and Kendall Higgs. Higgs. It was a great ball in, and almost getting on the end of it was rainwater.
Talk about shaking things up. I'm wondering if getting Higgs forward a little bit more could be part of that.
It's difficult to say what options Benji Walton has on the bench to replace Higgs in that position, but we all know how dangerous she can be in a forward position.
Yeah, that's the issue, is there's not really a ready-made replacement.
Gianni, great turn from her. The Italian. Out to Neal. Two strikers in front of her, but just miscommunication there as Allen wanted it played into her feet, and Neal believed that she wanted it on the run. Two more substitutions to be made here for Kennesaw State. And is it any surprise that with a little more than 20 minutes left in this one, the two players that Benji Walton sends on to find an answer are the two offensive players that have stood out for Kennesaw State today, Kiara Cingarella and Allie Bryan.
I wanted to give them a little bit of a break, probably talk a little tactically as well with them.
What do you think he told them?
Well, you know, I'm looking at the lineup first off, and I think part of it could be what we were just talking about, Kendall Higgs moving up top.
Looks like it might be exactly that. Jensen, here on the left, has Higgs available to her on the edge of the box. Higgs creeps in, was looking for that pass toward Higgs, cut out by Palmer. Throw in here, as it looks like Kennesaw State running almost a pseudo back three here, Jason?
Not really. I think they're keeping the back four, but Malika tucks inside as a center back now.
Bryan was looking out wide, but no one was there.
I think that's the question, is who is the right back in this setup? It might be Woke or Gianni who's going to have to cover that space. Now that we get a little bit better look, yeah, I think it is kind of somewhere in between a two center back and a three center back setup. That can create some issues, but at this stage of the match, you have to get Higgs forward to try to change the personality of the team in that half of the field.
Kennesaw State putting different formulas together to try and find a solution. A foul goes against them here. It's adjudicated by Daniel Tibbetts. And Queens, understandably so, no rush to take this free kick. Actually, we'll send one in. But not getting there was Roberts. However, it was a throw-in a difficult position, an uncomfortable position. And you see Malika did not want to be necessarily in that position, but Daniel Tibbetts will send her back and also let the substitution happen.
Yeah, it's the sub that I think slows that down. Malika wanted to throw that in as quickly as possible.
Comes in towards Bryan. Headed back by Guglielmo. Also coming in was Daniela Calm, the Barcelona, Spain native that impressed in the first half. Cingarella has to be careful not to lose possession here.
Needed to get some help. Gets it from Bly.
Bly sends it up along. Headed straight up by Stewart. Higgs. And that's why she's dangerous up top. Lays it off for Gianni. Gianni in a foot race here with her number 29 counterpart, and winning the best of that one was Grace Guglielmo. Great turn here from Noelle Roberts. Came into this game as a substitute, but has looked up for it. Roberts back for Calm. Kennesaw State wins a throw in. It's a potentially big call for them. They need to make sure it goes their way. Another throw in higher up the pitch. Malika into Cinderella. Pass with the left foot, finds Brian. Left the ball with her, though. Will get a corner.
These are the opportunities that the Owls have to capitalize on.
Especially with a team that has been as dangerous from set pieces as Kennesaw State has this season. Cinderella. One hand up in the air, sends the corner in. Getting on the end of it was Rainwater, sends it wide, though. Goal kick for Queens.
Rainwater got a pretty good look at that. Wasn't able to head it on frame. Great delivery from Cinderella.
There needs to be a greater sense of urgency from this Kennesaw State side to pressure Queens into a mistake and get the ball moving in the other direction. Malika cannot get on the end of that one. Throw in for Queens.
So it's a very makeshift back line for the Owls. She basically took Higgs out, and the others are just pinching in a little bit tighter. But Malika and Barbush both want to get forward when they can to help this attack when the ball's on their side of the pitch.
Shannon Neely-Knoll, almost 16 minutes away from her first win as a head coach, collegiate head coach. Gaither. You'd have to think that if the dagger was going to come from Queens, she'd be the most likely killer.
She does so much for the team. She works so hard off the ball. She'll drop into those gaps of space and keep it and bring others into the attack.
And Queens will keep the clock rolling with a substitute. Connie Dutton comes in to the side for the goal scorer, Svensson.
The freshman from Birmingham, England.
Svensson might win Woman of the Match by default here as the goal scorer. A lot of players have impressed on the pitch today, but it is her header that looped over Bly that is the decider thus far. Corner. Corner for Queens. And slowly approaching the flag is Daniela Kalm.
You have the lead. You have these restarts. You want to take as much time as the ref will allow.
Kalm's corner comes in. Bouncing around the box. Almost turning and shooting with it was Gaither. Deflected off a defender. Borgelt trying to pressure and win possession for Kennesaw State any way she can. Ball from Gaither over the top. Dutton. Back to Muttertees. Back again for Roberts. Unable to get the cross in thanks to the pressuring from Brian. And it's still Brian.
It's great work by Brian, but wasn't able to get on the end of it there at the end of that sequence.
Borgelt. Malika. All the way back for Bly. Risky business here. And Gaither getting the ball out of Bly's hands there and almost putting in her third goal of the season.
There's two elements to that. One, without the extra defender, Queens is able to match up player for player in those sequences. Malika gives it back to the goalkeeper. Bly has to know what's in front of her and just put that into the stands because she doesn't have the free player to be able to pass out of that.
But now the Owls have numbers forward with this formation that they're implementing. Gianni in towards Cinderella. She has to do something incredible here. She has to. The long left-footed shot comes in and troubles Turner, who makes a save, a sprawling save to her left.
Great turn, great run, shot. Didn't have a ton on it. Erica Turner is going to make that save every time.
Malika may let that run out and does. Throw in for Kennesaw State. But not before more substitutions from Coach Benji Walton. This time it's Kendall Hoskins who comes back in for Gianni. 13 minutes left in this one.
Substitutions for Kennesaw State. Entering the game, number 15, Kendall Hoskins. Exiting number 29, Agate Gianni.
Driving pace here from Cinderella. Brian to the byline. Brian. Cross comes in to the back post. Touchdown by Jensen. Cross comes back in toward the middle. However, it's Muttertees who will be able to control and progress the ball for Queens. And Macy Rainwater maybe just making a mistake there, Jason, of putting the foul on Connie Dutton when potentially that ball was going out for a Kennesaw State throw.
Yeah, frustrated at the end of it because I think she had done everything right and had earned the throw, but the shove at the end, it's just the frustration of this night coming out a little bit.
Jackson with the free kick. That pass cut out by Rainwater. Jensen to Barbush. Queens not letting up at all, keeping the foot on the gas with the defensive pressure. Can they find the goal? Gaither's pass, a loose one. And I think Higgs was offside there. It doesn't matter as the pass toward her was cut out by Palmer.
Palmer's done a great job on the back line for the Royals tonight.
Decker. Ball into the feet of Hoskins. It's a loose touch, though. Gaither. Cut out by Rainwater. The light at the end of the tunnel is dimming for Kennesaw State. Keely Jackson. Cross. There's a miscue there. Will be a goal kick. Substitution for Queens as Logan Fairley will come back into the midfield for Coach Neely Knoll.
A little more of a physical presence, Fairley over Calm.
It's what you need as you try to secure 3 points. The first conference win, first Division I win, potentially for Queens, as Gaither is whistled for offsides despite finishing that chance.
Very close call there.
Kennesaw State needs to be quicker with their play here. Looking to make this almost a set piece and kind of get someone to head this ball down. Jensen's in plenty of space. It's hoofed, however, toward Cinderella and Brian. And that one actually cleared, but into the feet of Jensen.
Jackson wins the tackle.
Jackson and Jensen getting a little bit heated there. Malika. Long cross comes in. Evades all of her teammates, however.
Jackson deals with it again, but KSU wins it back.
Loose touch there from Borgelt. And there's a free kick there. And I have to say, Jason, not a lot in that.
Yeah, not a lot in that, the way this game's been played. The referee, I think, has done a great job in allowing the game to breathe. Little surprised that one gets called.
9 minutes left. Reeb, the right-footed free kick. Gaither touches it down. Here on the right side is Dutton. Barbush cuts that one out. Again, has been the defensive standout for Kennesaw State today. Clever play from Kendall Higgs. It's almost one of her signature moves. However, just didn't come off for her.
Palmer handled it pretty well.
Ball straight up in the air. Headed back towards goal by Decker. Bly into the midfield. Fairley's there first. Muttertees. Back to Fairley. There needs to be more pressure on the ball here from Kennesaw State, Jason. Malika wins the foot race between her and Noelle Roberts. Still work to do, though.
Got to find a way to keep this in and keep possession.
And really great job there from Noelle Roberts, Jason. She may have given away the foul there, but how much time did she waste? How many crucial seconds did she waste there for Kennesaw State?
Roberts has been great off the bench. Freshman from Charlotte, who's just looked like she's up for this. And that's been the thing about Queens. They're in a position that they haven't known, trying to see out a lead at this level, and they look like they've done this a million times.
Here she is again. Here she is again. Plenty of space. Was looking for the pass towards Gaither. Jensen. But now, again, what has been the storyline of this game is Queens have been getting to every second ball. Jensen turns. Clever pass to find Barbush, who folds in. Back to Bly. Was almost troubled by Gaither once again. We saw that earlier in this half. Higgs out wide to Jensen. It has to come here for Kennesaw State. Long diagonal ball for Jensen. Dealt with by Stewart.
Stewart coming across to win that, but regained by the Owls.
Bryan, pass in towards Rainwater. Is that a penalty? No, says the referee.
Very demonstrative, immediately waving that one off. I think it's the right call. Now he stops the play, player down for each team. Thought initially he had stopped it because Rainwater stayed down.
Rainwater has stayed down. And also down for Queens, I believe, is Morgan Reeb. Looks like that might just be a cramp.
Yeah, don't think that had anything to do with the play with Rainwater. Clock stopped at 6:30. I don't think it was a penalty. I think it's the right call. Rainwater knows the defender is there, gets into the 18, doesn't quite create the separation, and as a smart attacker would, is looking for that penalty, maybe looking a little too hard because the contact, I don't think really came to earn the penalty.
Was a dangerous opportunity there as Bryan found a great run from Macy Rainwater. However, the only benefit they got out of it, Jason, is that the clock is stopped.
Not able to get that shot off, and that's been the story of the night for the Owls. Defensively, the Royals have recovered every time they've had to. They do it once again. Look, it's close. It's a close call, but we're seeing referees worldwide not give penalties quite as easily as maybe they did in the past.
Jensen. And taking a foot there probably was Keely Jackson.
Jackson
covers well, though.
Strong at that right back position for the Royals.
Fairly. Just looking to take that one to the corner flag. Looked like she may have dribbled it out at first. Referee eventually comes to terms with that.
6 minutes on the clock. Foul from Fairley after losing possession. But the Owls have to get into the attacking half quickly.
Malika. Heavy boot towards Cinderella. Headed back by Queens. Throw-in needs to be taken quickly here.
Owls making subs first.
Woke in for Malika. Really, it just seems like the Owls trying to get defenders off the pitch and get any player who can progress the ball up the pitch.
Jensen and Cinderella out as well.
Rainwater towards Bryan. Borgelt. Long searching ball for Allen. Has found answers for Kennesaw State this season. Can she be the oracle here? Allie Bryan. Shot comes in. Deflected, however. Rainwater, edge of the box. Rainwater toward the byline. And again, another opportunity where Rainwater may have won her side a corner, but foul comes in through the back and gifts possession towards Queens.
Yeah, I don't think she was going to get the corner there. I think she's lunging across to try to get to it to prevent the goal kick. Fairley got a good position on that and drew the foul.
Turner. Headed up by Hoskins and out for a throw-in. Hoskins wins it back for a throw-in. Allen puts it past Svensson and then wins a free kick. And it looks like they'll take the set piece option rather than taking it quickly, but they really have to get set quickly here.
Less than 4 minutes. Higgs to deliver.
Higgs puts it toward the box. Borgelt. A miscue here from Decker. Could cause a break the other way. Dutton. There needs to be more pressure on the ball here from the Owls. Unforced mistake here from Queens.
Little bit of a mistake. They don't mind too much because now the throw is a long way away from their own goal.
Barbush with the throw. Higgs. Into midfield for Guglielmo.
Palmer with another pass out of the back.
Woke. Borgelt, who finds herself in the back line where we saw her a lot to begin this season. And that pass into the feet of Fairley, who clear towards Bly. 2:40 on the clock. Bly, long ball up. Free kick here. However, Kennesaw State might have just preferred to flow possession. Clock will stop here.
Gaither did the right thing. She stands over the free kick, tried to delay it a little bit more. Clock gets stopped, but that's what you want your forwards to do. Don't allow teams to take free kicks quickly like that.
And she's been a pest for the Kennesaw State defense today as well, Jason.
Smart player. Just such an intelligent player, Nia Gaither.
Long ball from Borgel, touchdown by Higgs. Her pass evades Rainwater. And also almost an own goal! And right back into the net from the feet of Keely Jackson is a gift. An actual gift from the Queens back line to equalize this game with 2:14 on the clock. It's Kennesaw State 1, Queens 1. What has happened here, Jason?
Out of nowhere, and that's where you're dealing with being in a moment that you haven't been in. It's a ball from Higgs trying to play it through. It doesn't connect, but Keely Jackson under pressure thinks she has her goalkeeper there with her to play back to. She doesn't, because Turner had stepped up through after the initial ball from Higgs. Now there's not much time left, 2 minutes, but all the momentum is on the side of the Owls. Can the Royals kind of rebalance themselves?
And look who's back in the back line now as well, Jason, is Kendall Higgs.
I'm a little surprised by that. I feel like they might have the Royals on the ropes now.
Brian, can she win this one? She does, and she chests it down well. Finds Allen. Can it be the unthinkable here? Can it be the unthinkable here? And just missing wide is Macy Rainwater. What a story this would have been, Jason.
Backline is very shaky right now for the Royals. The Owls have to continue to put pressure on them.
Would have been an unspeakable Kennesaw State performance if we saw Macy Rainwater do the unthinkable and come from 1-0 down to win this game 2-1 in a matter of mere minutes.
Game's not done yet.
1 minute remaining.
Bly ushering her team up the pitch. Long punt. Things not as 1-2-3 as it was for Queens just minutes ago. However, defensive miscue here. Kendall Higgs takes care of it. Unable to find the option up top. Barbush got to that one first. 35 seconds on the clock. Rainwater unable to touch that one down cleanly. Keely Jackson toward the feet of Muttertees. Guglielmo Woke gets there first. Borgelt, plenty of space out wide. Unable to find the pass, however. You have to think that'll just about do it. Or is it done? Durant here toward the byline. Has options. Muttertees on the edge of the box. Cross comes in. It's off of Woke. Still Muttertees. Cross comes in into the midsection of Alana Bly. And a game that maybe was somewhat stagnant at points of this matchup, Jason, ends in complete turmoil for Queens and an exciting end to this one.
Crazy match, because the first 45, KSU is going to feel like they were the better team. It was unfortunate that they were behind. From then on, Queens controlled the game. Queens was the better team. Queens played so well across the board, and it's one individual mistake. It was great to see Keely Jackson make a couple of plays after that, because you could see the effect of that mistake on her face after the own goal. But she made a couple of big plays afterwards. Her teammates have to pick her up, because we'll talk about KSU and what they have coming up this weekend in a second. Queens, this is something they can build on, and you can't let that one mistake detract from what was a great performance across the board.
It all started in the 11th minute for Queens, who scored off a beautiful looping header from Hilda Svensson. Fantastic right-footed cross from Savannah Stewart to find her in the box and caught Alana Bly somewhat flat-footed. And it seemed like they were going to be able to carry that lead throughout this whole match until a defensive miscue at the back from Keely Jackson puts the ball in the back of her own net, and that settles the points that are shared today with a 1-1 draw. Jason, we knew that probably the defense of either one of these sides was going to settle the match. However, the spoils are shared, and it's the Queens defense that did a job kind of on both sides of the ball.
They did a great job overall. One mistake doesn't mean the whole match for them. It cost them the win. It cost them their first win in ASUN play, their first win at the D1 level. But this is a result and a performance, more importantly, that they can build on. Now, let's go to the Owls side of it, because they're back in action Sunday afternoon with Liberty coming to town. Liberty 1-0-1 in the conference so far. They're level right now at halftime in their match. So they could be unbeaten in conference play, just like the Owls. The element of that last sequence, we've talked about the mistake that Jackson made. It's Kendall Higgs who moved up into the attack after playing very well at center back. She puts the pass in. It doesn't connect, but it asks questions. Higgs and where she plays on Sunday could go a long way to what kind of a day the Owls have.
And that gives them some momentum towards late on in this match. A really big, you'd have to call it a rivalry at this point, Kennesaw State and Liberty. That has to be a match that they've had circled on their calendar.
Yeah, you would expect that it would be. The Owls have been to 3 straight conference tournament finals. Regular season play hasn't always matched that. So far this season, even though today is a performance that they will want to be better than they were in this one, they found a way to get a result. You can build on that. That's got to be the message from Benji Walton to his team tonight. You rest, you recover, and you play better on Sunday against an opponent that you know well, and you probably don't like very much.
Queens University came into this matchup having scored 2 goals on the season. Now they've scored 4 on the season, but not in the way that they had hoped. Kennesaw State gets the own goal late on in the matchup to equalize the match and share the points at the end of this one. On behalf of me, Mattine Rad, and Jason Longshore, my partner in the booth, and behalf of all Kennesaw State staff, thank you for joining us today here at Fifth Third Bank Stadium, where the final score is Queens 1, Kennesaw State 1. We'll see you next time.